Hello, everyone. Welcome to cricketworld.com. What a final day's play we had in the third test match between England and India at Lords. And to understand what happened on the final day of the test match, I've got with me Nikhil Narayan to look back at what was a thrilling day's action. Nikhil, do you think in the end India will feel like that one slipped away?
Absolutely, Chandresh. India had that match in their grasp. A target of 193 in the fourth innings wasn't that difficult, but the batters let India down. The so far the batters had given a great account of themselves at Leeds and at Birmingham. But when it came to the crunch time at Lords in the fourth innings chase, a golden opportunity for India to take a 2-1 lead, the batters failed, and except some resistance by Ravindra Jadeja in the lower order, it was actually the batting which let India down in this test match. They definitely let this test match go away. This will hurt for a long, long time. It won't be easy for India to bounce back from this defeat, given that they were so close to overcoming England.
Let's go back to the start of the day. Fifth day, India needed 135 runs to win, and everything depended on how Rishabh Pant would turn up. He looked in pain; his finger was still hurting, and he was beaten by the superior pace of Jofra Archer. And he could see that Jofra Archer and the entire English team was fired up, or clearly what had happened between Shubman Gill and the English openers told in the way the English players behave.
Absolutely. Pant's wicket was a huge one, given that he's a match changer, given at the pace he scores his runs and his record in the fourth inning. It's the best record amongst all the Indian batters in this current lineup, average above 50 in the fourth innings. Everyone knows what he did at the Gabba, all these years ago. So, Rishabh Pant's wicket was huge, but it's not his fault. He was out to an absolute Jaffa by Archer, early on day five. And that sort of put India, firmly on the back foot.
And then KL Rahul also got out, and then Washington Sundar was dismissed by the express pace of Jofra Archer. Again, Archer giving a send off to Washington Sundar, and at that stage, India was in dire straits. Losing 7 wickets pretty quickly, 3 wickets on the day pretty quickly, and it seemed like it was all curtains for India at that stage. It then required a rearguard action from Ravindra Jadeja, first in the company of Nitish Kumar Reddy. And just at the stroke of lunch, Nitish Kumar Reddy fell. And the score was 112 for 8. Do you think at that stage, because Jadeja and Reddy had weathered the storm, should one of them have taken a few chances to put a few doubts in the English minds?
I mean, that could have been a ploy, and the person who should have taken, the chances should have been Nitish Kumar Reddy, because Jadeja was the anchor. He was playing the sheet anchor's role. He had to be there for India till the end of the chase. So if anyone had to take chances in that Ravindra Jadeja and Nitish Reddy partnership, the 91 ball partnership, which fetched only 30 runs. So if and Reddy only contributed 13 or 53. So if Reddy had been a little more positive, let's say he scored 20 more runs, India would have been through. I mean, almost through in this chase. So maybe India, lost a bit too defensive in that partnership. I understand Ravindra Jadeja playing sheet anchor because the match depended on him. He had to uh, uh, protect one end, but Nitish Kumar Reddy should have taken more chances from the other generation.
And then post lunch, it was Ravindra Jadeja and Jasprit Bumrah. I didn't quite understand the strategy that Jadeja employed after lunch. He was taking singles sometimes of the third delivery, sometimes of the second delivery, sometimes of the fourth delivery. There was this odd boundary and one odd six from Jadeja's bat. But it wasn't really making any sense at that stage. And you could sense that towards the end of that partnership, uh, which had put together 35 runs. Bumrah was starting to feel that he needs to take charge and he was ready to take on the short delivery. Uh, and he finally fell. You could see the reaction of Bumrah. He was absolutely gutted to get out at that stage. What did you make of that partnership?
Yes, so see, unlike the Jadeja Nitish Kumar Reddy partnership, Nitish Kumar Reddy is an batting all rounder, so he should have taken the chances. But once Bumrah was in, Bumrah is not known for his batting. Yes, he's improved, but he's essentially he's an all out fast bowler. So Ravindra Jadeja should have taken more chances in his partnership with Bumrah. 35 of 132 deliveries, again 20 runs more, and India would have been through. Jadeja was a little too cautious, and if anyone had to take chances, it had to be Jadeja in that partnership, but he did not. Bumrah showed enough resistance, but finally he could not sort of control himself, and a short pitch delivery, accounting for his wicket. That was a tactical blunder, according to me, by India. Jadeja should have taken more chances once the pure bowlers were in. Because the chances of Jadeja succeeding against the English lineup, taking risks far higher than Jasprit Bumrah or Mohammad Siraj succeeding against them.
Yeah, and you could, but while the partnership was on, you could see that the English players were getting frustrated. You could sense that they were getting irritated as well, and they were not able to break through that stand. They thought that they'll just lie down and be rolled over, but that didn't happen. And it at that stage it looked, but for that shot, which came out of nowhere from the Bumrah, though it did show a bit of impatience over there. You could sense that something was amiss. But you've got to hand it to the English bowlers, especially Chris Wokes, who broke through Nitish Kumar Reddy's defense. And towards the end, then the skipper, after the match went into the session post tea as well. Never expected it to go that far. And all credit to Jadeja and to Siraj, especially, who showed good technique against the English fast bowlers, especially Jofra Archer.
Absolutely. Siraj outdid himself as a batter in the second innings. No one expected him to provide the resistance that he did. And he was very unlucky with the way the match ended. I mean, 22 runs required. Jadeja might have taken risks from the other end. A couple of boundaries, and you never know. England would have panicked. Anything could have happened there. But as luck would have it, it all ended anticlimactic end to the match. A defense by Mohammad Siraj, who I was he was very compact, very technically correct so far. Unfortunately, the ball sort of went back and hit the stump, and one of the bails came out, and that was the end of that. And Jadeja was stranded. It was again, it was a great performance by the Indian tail along with Jadeja, but maybe tactically, if you've seen all the chases in history, Chandresh, whether it was Ben Stokes or there's so many other chases in Test cricket history, where a proper batter or an all-rounder bats with the tail. The proper batter all-rounder takes a little more risks, takes a couple, he looks for the boundaries, he farms the strike, and especially when you require 80, 90 runs, which is not any small target, and only the last three wickets are there. You need to sort of also go for the runs, because playing out balls would not reduce the target. So I think that is why Jadeja might have been a little too conscious. One can understand why he was, but I think he was a little too cautious. He could have targeted one or two bowlers, a few deliveries, and maybe the result would have been different. So one cannot blame Jadeja, because he played an absolutely outstanding knock. But maybe tactically India could have attacked a little bit more, and maybe the result would have been different.
Yeah, that would have been icing on the cake for India. In the end, Nikhil, three test matches, England leading 2-1, two to go. India would feel that they should have been 3-0 up.
Yes, India had their chances, in the first test and at Lords. Could have easily been 3-0. India has been the better team with the bat and definitely with the ball. They have won more sessions, they have won more hours in this match, but yet England is 2-1 up, and that is something India would find hard to digest. But still, all is not lost. Old Trafford, is an interesting wicket. India has the team to bounce back and make it 2-all, and there is no other option. There's no point going for a draw, because the Oval is the best batting track in England. So I think India would have to go all out at Old Trafford, risk 3-1 for the sake of 2-all. But the interesting thing, Chandresh, would be, will Jasprit Bumrah play? That's the billion-dollar question.
Absolutely, and that's going to be the big one. And in hindsight, what do you think was the turning point of this Test match? Was it the fact that India let England slip away from 271 for 7 to 387? Was it Jamie Smith's dropped catch, which happened before that? Was it the Rishabh Pant run out? Was it India's collapse from 376 for 387, or that 67 run stand between Joe Root and Ben Stokes in the second innings, or something which is spoken about very less, the 26 buys that were gifted by India to England in the second innings? What do you think was the turning point?
I think the one turning point, if I have to point out, was the Rishabh Pant's run out. Ben's a brilliant moment. Ben Stokes changing the match on its head, because at that stage it did seem that India, could get a lead in the first innings. They could easily have gotten a 50, 60 run lead, and the match could have been completely different. Then I think if I have to pick one instance from the match, it was the Rishabh Pant run out in the first innings.
Okay, so there you heard it. The verdict from us on the third Test match between India and England at Lords. We'll be back with the video looking ahead to the fourth Test match at Old Trafford in Manchester. It's some time away. It's a week away from now. Hopefully, India will fight back in that Test match, and we'll head back to London for a fantastic finale to this Anderson Tendulkar Trophy. Remember, you can log on to cricketworld.com, like, share, subscribe, and comment on the videos and be part of the conversation that Nikhil and I are having. That's it for now. We'll be back with the video looking at to the fourth Test match. Till then, it's goodbye and God bless from both Nikhil and myself. We'll see you then. Till then, take good care of yourselves.